What if the breathtaking stained glass windows of Chartres Cathedral, shimmering with celestial light, weren't just the product of divine inspiration, but held within their intricate patterns a secret code, a forgotten message whispered across centuries? Tonight, we won't chase that secret. Instead, we will find our peace in the slow, deliberate craft of the artisans who painstakingly created those very windows, exploring the meticulous techniques, the almost forgotten skills, the sheer dedication that went into each tiny piece of colored glass. We'll delve into the world of medieval European crafts, a world far removed from the frantic pace of modern life. So before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe to Snooze Stories. Now, dim the lights. Let the gentle rhythm of my voice wash over you as we journey back to a time of patient hands and enduring artistry. A time when the creation of beauty was a sacred act, and the secrets of the craft were passed down through generations, whispered like prayers in dimly lit workshops. Imagine the scent of molten glass, the rhythmic tap-tap-tap of the hammer against the anvil, the quiet concentration etched onto the faces of these skilled artisans. Tonight, on Snooze Stories, we uncover the forgotten crafts of medieval Europe. Melton can recall the crafts of medieval England, but is it the... Imagine the cobbled streets of a medieval town, damp with the evening dew. The air, thick with the scent of wood smoke and baking bread, carries the faint, sweet aroma of beeswax and drying herbs. A single oil lamp casts a warm glow on the weathered timbers of a workshop, its light illuminating a scene of quiet industry. Within, a craftsman sits hunched over his work, the rhythmic tap-tap-tap of his hammer a gentle counterpoint to the low hum of conversation drifting in from the street. This isn't the clang and clatter of a modern factory. This is a world of measured pace, of deliberate action, of skills honed over a lifetime. This is the world we will explore tonight, a world of forgotten crafts, of artisans whose names are lost to time but whose skills live on, subtly woven into the very fabric of the medieval landscape. From the soaring cathedrals that pierced the heavens to the humble homes that sheltered families, the touch of these skilled hands is everywhere, a silent testament to their dedication and artistry. Let's begin our journey, not with grand pronouncements or sweeping generalizations, but with a single, seemingly insignificant detail. Consider the humble wooden chair, a staple of daily life in medieval Europe. We might glance at it without a second thought, its simple design overlooked in the rush of modern life. But take a moment to imagine the process of its creation. First, the selection of the wood. A careful choice, perhaps oak or beech, strong and durable, yet yielding to the craftsman's skill. The wood itself holds a story, a whisper of the forest from which it came, its grain, a map of growth and sunlight. The craftsman, his hands calloused and strong from years of labor, feels the wood's texture, assessing its density, its potential. He chooses his tools, each one a testament to generations of accumulated knowledge. The adze, sharp and efficient, its blade gleaming softly under the lamplight. The plane, its smooth surface worn smooth by countless strokes. The chisel, honed to a razor's edge, capable of both delicate carving and powerful shaping. The scent of freshly cut wood fills the air, mingling with the faint, earthy odor of the craftsman's leather apron. The creation begins slowly, deliberately. Each cut is precise, each stroke measured. There's no frantic rush, no impatience. The craftsman works with a rhythm born of countless repetitions, his movements fluid and graceful, his hands guided by an innate understanding of the material. He feels the wood's resistance responding to its grain, its character. He shapes it with his tools, coaxing its inherent form into being, transforming a rough, unyielding log into something elegant and functional. Hours melt into one another, marked only by the shifting shadows of the lamplight and the deepening twilight outside. The rhythmic tap-tap-tap of the hammer continues, a steady heartbeat in the quiet workshop. The air grows cooler, but the craftsman's focus remains unbroken. He works in a state of quiet concentration, lost in the process of creation. His mind is still, his body moving almost unconsciously, guided by muscle memory and an intuitive understanding of his craft. Consider now the tools themselves, each one a marvel of simple yet elegant design. These aren't mass-produced objects, they are the result of meticulous craftsmanship, forged in fires and honed with patience. Imagine the blacksmith's forge, its fiery heart beating in time with the rhythmic clang of his hammer, the air filled with the smell of burning coal and molten metal. The blacksmith, too, works with a similar patient dedication, shaping the raw material with skill and precision, creating tools that will last for generations. Beyond the tools and the wood, consider the sheer physicality of the process. The craftsman must have immense strength and endurance, the muscles of his arms and back toned and defined by years of repetitive motion. His hands, bearing the marks of his trade, are both powerful and sensitive, capable of wielding the sharpest tools with precision and control. He works with his body as an extension of his mind, allowing his physical intuition to guide his creative process. The completed chair, sturdy and elegantly crafted, speaks of this dedication. It's more than just a piece of furniture. It's a testament to the craftsman's skill, his patience, his connection to the material world. It is a tangible link to a past where the process of creation was a slow, deliberate, and deeply satisfying endeavor. It's a piece of history, holding within its simple form the quiet story of a forgotten craft. And as we continue our journey through the forgotten crafts of medieval Europe, remember this humble chair, a symbol of the enduring artistry of a bygone era. Let its story settle over you, a gentle weight that pulls you towards a peaceful slumber. The night is young, and there are many more secrets yet to uncover. Let the peace of the workshop settle over you. As we gently drift from the sturdy oak chair, let us now turn our attention to a craft of equal importance, yet of a vastly different nature, the weaving of tapestries. Imagine a large, dimly lit workshop, perhaps nestled within the walls of a medieval town, the air thick with the scent of lanolin and damp wool. Here the tapestry weaver works, surrounded by a vibrant chaos of colored threads, gleaming shuttles, and the satisfying rhythmic click of the loom. Unlike the solitary work of the chair maker, tapestry weaving often involved a team, a collaborative effort that mirrored the communal spirit of the medieval guild system. The raw materials themselves held a story. The wool, carefully sheared from sheep grazing on sun-drenched hillsides, was washed and combed, its fibers painstakingly aligned to create a smooth, even yarn. Picture the soft texture of the wool, its gentle warmth against the skin, the subtle variations in its shade, each nuance reflecting the conditions of its growth. The colors, achieved through natural dyes derived from plants, roots, and insects, were equally captivating. Imagine the rich crimson of madder root, the deep indigo of woad, the vibrant yellow of weld, each hue imbued with the essence of the earth from which it came. These colors, painstakingly prepared and meticulously applied, were the weaver's palette, a testament to their mastery of both natural processes and artistic vision. The loom itself, a magnificent structure of wood and rope, stood as a silent witness to countless hours of meticulous work. Picture its sturdy frame, crafted from seasoned timbers, the warp threads stretched taut between its beams, a network of vertical lines forming the skeletal structure of the future tapestry. The weaver's tools were equally essential. The shuttle, a smooth oblong piece of wood, carrying the weft threads back and forth through the warp. The reed, a comb-like device used to beat the weft threads into place, creating a dense, even fabric, and the heddle, a system of rods and strings used to lift and lower the warp threads, creating the spaces through which the shuttle passed. Each of these tools, crafted with care and precision, was an extension of the weaver's hand, an intimate partner in the creative process. The process itself unfolded with a slow, hypnotic rhythm. The weaver, seated before the loom, guided the shuttle with practiced ease, weaving the weft threads through the warp, creating a dense and intricate pattern. The click of the shuttle, the gentle thud of the reed as it beat the weft into place, created a soft, repetitive sound, a gentle lullaby in the heart of the workshop. The weaver's hands, nimble and strong, moved with practiced ease, their movements guided by an intuitive understanding of the material and the design. Every strand was carefully placed, every knot securely tied, every color precisely chosen to contribute to the overall harmony of the piece. Days often blended into weeks, weeks into months, as the tapestry slowly grew, a silent testament to the weaver's dedication. The design itself might be A biblical scene, a regal portrait, a vibrant depiction of courtly life, or perhaps a more abstract pattern of geometric shapes and stylized foliage. Whatever the subject, the weaver's skill was evident in every detail, in the delicate shading of colors, the subtle interplay of light and shadow, the fluid lines that brought the image to life. Consider the sheer physicality of this craft. The weaver, often hunched over their work, would experience the strain on their backs, necks, and hands. Yet there was a quiet satisfaction in this work, a sense of accomplishment that grew with each completed section of the tapestry. It wasn't simply a matter of following a predetermined pattern. It was a process of creation, of bringing a design to life, of transforming raw materials into a thing of beauty and lasting value. The finished tapestry, once it was finally complete, was a marvel to behold. Imagine the rich textures of the wool, the subtle gradations of color, the intricate details of the design. It hung upon the wall as a source of beauty and pride, reflecting not only the skill of the weaver, but also the communal effort that had gone into its creation. From the careful selection of the wool through the meticulous dyeing of the threads and the painstaking process of weaving itself, it represents an achievement of both art and industry. Think now as you listen to the rhythm of my voice, of the weight of the shuttle passing through the warp, of the subtle click of the reed, of the soft texture of the wool against the weaver's hands. Let the rhythm lull you into a state of peaceful tranquility. Feel the weight of the tapestry, its soft texture, its vibrant colors. Let the gentle sounds of the workshop fade into the background, replaced only by the calming rhythm of your breathing. The night deepens and sleep calls. Let the slow, methodical process of tapestry weaving lull you into a peaceful slumber. And so, from the rich tapestry of woven wool, let us turn our attention to the very essence of its vibrant hues, the dyes themselves. Imagine a world where color wasn't bottled, but painstakingly coaxed from the earth, from plants, roots, and even insects. The medieval dyer, a figure often overlooked in the grand narrative of the era, possessed a knowledge as intricate and valuable as that of the weaver. Their craft was a symphony of natural processes, a careful dance between plant and pigment. Consider the madder root, Rubia tinctorum, its slender reddish-brown roots unearthed after years of slow growth. Picture the dyer, perhaps in a small, secluded workshop near a stream, carefully washing and cleaning the roots, feeling the cool, damp earth still clinging to their surface. The preparation was a lengthy process, often involving grinding the roots into a fine powder, a task performed with meticulous care. The rhythmic motion of the pestle and mortar, a soothing counterpoint to the rushing water of the nearby stream. The resulting powder, a vibrant crimson dust, held the potential for a rich, deep red, a color that would adorn the finest tapestries and garments of the age. The intensity of the shade depended on many factors: the soil in which the madder grew, the time of year it was harvested, and the precise method of extraction and preparation. Each batch held subtle nuances, each a unique fingerprint of the earth and the dyer's skill. Imagine the scent of the drying powder, earthy and slightly pungent, hanging in the air of the workshop. Then there is woad, Isatis tinctoria, a plant whose leaves yielded a deep, almost mystical indigo. The process for extracting the dye from woad was significantly more complex. The leaves were harvested, meticulously cleaned, and then fermented in large vats, a process that released the dye and created a unique, strong odor, which likely permeated the air around the dyer's workshop and even spilled out into the neighboring streets. This fermentation, a slow and deliberate process, was critical to unlocking the rich indigo hue. The resulting paste, a dark, viscous substance, was then mixed with water and applied to the fibers. Picture the dyer's hands, stained deep blue, a testament to their dedication to their craft. The very act of dyeing with woad was a tactile experience, the sensation of the cool, smooth paste against the skin, the gradual deepening of the color as the dye settled into the fiber. The indigo dye itself, with its mesmerizing and mysterious properties, was considered exceptionally valuable, often commanding higher prices than other natural dyes. Wild Reseda luteoli provided a spectrum of yellow tones, from pale lemon to a deeper, almost golden hue. Its delicate flowers, gathered in the summer months, revealed their secrets to patient hands. The flowers and stems were often dried and then steeped in water for days. Imagine the dyer carefully monitoring this process, constantly observing the subtle changes in the color of the liquid. It was a process requiring both patience and intuition, a deep understanding of the natural rhythms of the plant. This subtle yellow dye, often used as a base for other colors or as a standalone hue, added a delicate brightness to medieval textiles. Beyond plants, insects also contributed to the vibrant palette of the medieval dyer. Cochineal, derived from the cochineal insect, Dactylopius coccus, yielded a spectrum of rich reds and carmines. Imagine the delicate insects, harvested from prickly pear cacti, carefully crushed and processed to release their potent dyes. These dyes, valued for their richness and brilliance, were often used to create striking accents in textiles, lending a touch of luxurious splendor to clothing and tapestries. The sourcing of these dyes was itself a journey, a testament to the interconnectedness of the medieval world. Madder might have been sourced locally, grown in carefully cultivated fields, while woad, with its specific climate requirements, could have been imported. Picture the caravans carrying precious cargo across vast distances. The dyes, carefully packed and protected from damage, traveling from field to workshop to loom. Every step of the process, from the planting of the seed to the application of the dye, involved not only technical expertise but also a deep understanding of the natural world, a profound respect for the earth's gifts. Think of the medieval dyer as a skilled alchemist, patiently coaxing vibrant hues from humble ingredients. Their work wasn't simply a technical process, it was a form of art, a testament to their understanding of both plant life and the intricacies of dye chemistry. The colors they created were not merely decorative, they were expressions of the natural world, imbued with the essence of the earth and the sun. Feel the weight of these natural pigments in your hands, imagine the rich scents and textures of the plants. The patient process of extraction, the careful application of the dye, allow the image of the medieval dyer, surrounded by their tools and ingredients, to wash over you, its calming rhythms lulling you towards a peaceful sleep. Let the colors of the past, once so vibrant and full of life, now soften and fade into the gentle darkness of the night. The quiet hum of the workshop fades, replaced by the slow, steady beat of your heart. Sleep calls to you, softly, gently. Drift now into slumber. The lingering scent of indigo, earthy and subtly sweet, still hangs in the air, a phantom echo of the dyer's workshop. But now let us turn our attention inward, to the quiet contemplation of the scribe, to the hushed reverence of the scriptorium, a place where words themselves were crafted with meticulous care, where the art of illuminating manuscripts held sway. Imagine, if you will, the feel of the parchment beneath your fingertips, its surface subtly textured, almost breathing beneath your touch. This wasn't just paper, it was the skin of an animal, carefully prepared, stretched, and smoothed, each hide a unique canvas awaiting the artist's touch. The process began long before the scribe ever picked up a quill. First, the skins, often from sheep or goats, were meticulously cleaned, soaked, and scraped to remove any excess flesh or fat. Think of the patient work, the rhythmic scrape of the tools against the hide, the soft sigh of the leather as it yielded to the artisan's skill. This process, done in stages over days, transformed a raw animal hide into a surface fit for holding the precious words. Next, the stretched and carefully prepared parchment is smoothed and scraped again to achieve the desired texture. Imagine the quiet rhythm of the work, the soft whisper of the tools against the pliable material, the subtle scent of hide and water filling the air. The parchment was then carefully inspected, its surface checked for any flaws. Only the most flawless hides were selected for the most important books, those intended for royalty or the church. Imagine a single imperfection, perhaps a slight scratch, scrutinized under a beam of filtered sunlight. Even the smallest flaw could be a reason for rejection. This meticulous preparation was the foundation upon which the entire manuscript would rest. The quality of the parchment directly influenced the clarity and longevity of the work. With the parchment prepared, the scribe could begin their work. Imagine the quill, crafted from a carefully selected feather, perhaps a goose or swan, dipped into a pot of carefully prepared ink. The ink itself was a mixture of various ingredients, often including gallnuts, gum arabic, and iron sulfate, resulting in a rich, deep black. Each stroke of the quill upon the parchment was deliberate, precise, a testament to the scribe's years of practice. The words flowed from the quill, forming elegant script, each letter perfectly formed, each line carefully aligned. This was not mere writing. It was calligraphy, an art form in itself, demanding patience, precision, and an unwavering hand. But the manuscript was more than just words on a page. It was a work of art. This is where the illuminator enters the scene. Imagine the artist, their hands stained with pigments, carefully preparing their palette of vibrant colors. The colors, often derived from natural sources, ground gemstones, crushed plants, and even insects, were painstakingly ground and mixed, resulting in hues that shimmered with subtle light. Imagine the delicate grinding of precious stones, releasing their powdered brilliance. These colors, often more precious than gold, were carefully applied to the page, enhancing the written text with intricate designs and vibrant illustrations. These weren't simple drawings, they were miniature masterpieces, each detail meticulously rendered, each stroke imbued with the artist's skill and dedication. Think of the vibrant hues, the deep, rich blues of lapis lazuli, the fiery reds of vermilion, the luminous golds painstakingly applied in fine lines of leaf. The borders of the pages were often adorned with intricate patterns, perhaps intertwining vines and leaves, or perhaps fantastical creatures, mythical beasts, and radiant flowers. The use of gold leaf added an aura of splendor to the work. Imagine the thin sheets of gold carefully applied to the page, then burnished to create a stunning, radiant glow. It must have been a process requiring both great skill and an exceptional degree of patience, each tiny piece carefully manipulated to achieve a perfect effect. Every detail, from the precise placement of each letter to the smallest brushstroke of color, was an act of dedication, a testament to the artisan's skill. And as the illuminator's work progressed, the manuscript transformed from a simple collection of words to a breathtaking work of art, a visual testament to the dedication, precision, and artistry of the medieval world. Feel the quiet hum of concentration in the scriptorium, the gentle scratch of the quill, the soft whisper of the brush. The scent of parchment, ink, and pigments fills the air. Let these images, these sounds, these sensations slowly and gently lull you towards peaceful sleep. Drift now into the soft darkness, into the quiet embrace of slumber. The gentle rhythm of the artisan's work fades, replaced by the soft cadence of your own breath. Sleep calls to you, softly, gently. Drift, sleep. The quiet hum of the scriptorium fades, replaced by the rhythmic thud of clay against clay, the slow, deliberate turn of a potter's wheel. We leave the hushed world of the scribe and illuminator and journey to a different kind of workshop, one filled with the earthy scent of wet clay and the comforting warmth of a nearby kiln. Here, in a space perhaps less grand than the scriptorium, but no less vital to the life of the medieval village, the potter works. Imagine the potter, their hands roughened by years of shaping and molding, their movements fluid and practiced, almost hypnotic in their rhythm. The wheel, a simple yet ingenious device, turns slowly, steadily, powered perhaps by a foot pedal or the strength of the potter's own hands. A lump of clay, carefully chosen and prepared, sits centered on the spinning disc. Feel the coolness of the moist earth between the potter's fingers, the subtle give and resistance as it yields to their touch. The potter's hands, calloused yet sensitive, begin to shape the formless clay. There is no sudden violence, only a gentle coaxing, a patient shaping of form from substance. Observe the slow, deliberate movements, the subtle pressure, the gentle stroking that transforms the lump of clay into a nascent vessel. The wheel turns, a soft hum accompanying the rhythmic rise and fall of the potter's hands. Water, a necessary component of the process, keeps the clay supple and pliable. Imagine the potter's gaze, focused, intent, as their skilled hands coax the clay upwards, creating the walls of a jug, a bowl, or perhaps a simple drinking cup. The form slowly emerges from the whirling mass, growing taller, wider, its shape taking on a nascent elegance. The spinning wheel creates its own hypnotic rhythm, a lulling counterpoint to the potter's deliberate actions. The air is thick with the smell of damp earth, a comforting aroma that speaks of age-old crafts and steadfast human endeavor. Feel the quiet satisfaction that must have filled the potter, the simple pleasure of creating something beautiful and useful from the earth itself. Different techniques are employed depending on the desired form and the potter's expertise. Sometimes, coils of clay are carefully layered and smooth, creating sturdy walls with a visible texture. Other times, the clay is pinched and shaped, creating a vessel that feels more organic, more intimate. Imagine the slow, deliberate process of coil building, the careful placement of each coil, the gentle smoothing of the joins, the rhythmic rhythm of the potter's hands shaping and merging the clay. Or consider the almost meditative process of pinching, the shaping of the clay through the gentle pressure of the thumb and fingers, the gradual emergence of the form from the raw material. Each method demands skill and patience, a careful understanding of the material's properties, and an innate feel for its inherent possibilities. The potter's wheel is not just a tool, it is an extension of the artist's body, their intentions manifested in the graceful curves of a nascent pot. But the potter's work does not end with the shaping of the clay. The vessel must be dried slowly, a process that can take days, even weeks, depending on the weather and the thickness of the walls. During this slow drying, the clay must be protected from sudden temperature changes or draughts, lest it crack or warp. Imagine the patient waiting, the potter's watchful eye, ensuring the slow, even drying of their creation. Finally, the vessels are ready for the kiln, the heart of the potter's workshop. This ancient marvel transforms the fragile, dried clay into a durable, finished product. The kiln, a small brick structure, is carefully packed with the finished pieces, each one nestled amongst the others, ensuring the heat is distributed evenly. The firing process is crucial, requiring precise temperature control and a steady hand. Imagine the slow build of heat inside the kiln, the intense flames licking the clay, gradually changing its structure, hardening it into a resilient, long-lasting material. The firing process often takes many hours, even days, another testament to the patience and persistence of the medieval potter. The kiln's opening, carefully watched, slowly unveils the results. Vessels now transformed from humble clay into durable everyday objects. A simple bowl, a sturdy jug, a delicate cup, each a testament to the potter's skill and the transformative power of fire. The earthy scent of fired clay fills the air, mingling with the lingering scent of damp earth and the wood smoke that fueled the kiln. The subtle variations in the glaze, the faint crackle of the surface, all bear silent witness to the transformative journey of the clay from raw material to finished piece. These objects, simple and functional, were yet infused with the quiet dignity of handcraft, each one a unique testament to the enduring skill of the medieval potter. Feel the warmth of the finished pottery, the smooth surface against your skin, the slow, rhythmic turning of the wheel, the patient shaping of the clay, the steady heat of the kiln. All these elements combine to lull you into a state of deep relaxation. Drift now into the quiet darkness, sleep. The scent of fired clay lingers, a subtle, earthy perfume, slowly giving way to the heavier, more metallic tang of the blacksmith's forge. Imagine the scene, a small, open-fronted building, perhaps nestled beside a river for easy access to water, or tucked away in a quiet corner of a medieval town. The air itself seems to hum with a low, resonant thrumming, the quiet heartbeat of the forge. The blacksmith, his face smudged with soot and sweat, stands before his anvil, a heavy block of iron worn smooth by years of hammer blows. The anvil itself seems to possess a presence, a silent witness to countless creations, its surface etched with the ghosts of past projects. Observe the tools arrayed around him. Hammers of various sizes, their heads polished smooth with use, their handles worn to a comfortable fit in the blacksmith's calloused hands. The sledgehammer, a behemoth of forged steel, rests near the anvil, reserved for the most demanding tasks. Smaller, more delicate hammers are ready for finer work, their heads shaped for different purposes, some rounded for shaping, others pointed for detail work. Close by lies the tongs, sturdy, heavy implements crafted from wrought iron. Their jaws, capable of gripping glowing metal, are carefully shaped to hold various sizes and shapes of workpieces. Notice the subtle variations, the gentle curves of the handles designed to provide a secure and comfortable grip. Next to the tongs sit a variety of chisels and punches, each one carefully honed and tempered, designed to create specific shapes and textures in the metal. The bellows, a crucial component of the forge, rest beside a pile of charcoal. Their leathery hides, dark and worn, are evidence of their tireless service. The bellows themselves are not just tools. They are extensions of the blacksmith's breath, his very life force channeled into the fiery heart of the forge. The fire itself is a mesmerizing spectacle, a swirling vortex of orange and yellow flames that lick at the charcoal. The heat radiates outwards in waves, warming the blacksmith's face, making his sweat shimmer in the dim light of the workshop. The heat is intense, but the blacksmith seems unfazed, accustomed to this furnace of creation. Listen to the rhythmic hiss of the bellows, the whooshing sound of air being forced into the heart of the fire, a constant pulsating heartbeat that underpins the blacksmith's work. The process begins with the heating of the metal. Imagine a length of iron, dull and cold, carefully placed within the roaring flames. The blacksmith watches intently as the metal gradually changes color, its surface shimmering as it begins to glow. First a dull red, then a vibrant orange, then a blinding white, hot, each shift indicating a change in the metal's malleability. The blacksmith uses his tongs to carefully manipulate the iron, turning it within the fire, ensuring that the heat is distributed evenly. This is a dance of heat and steel, a delicate balance between temperature and form. Once the iron reaches the desired temperature, the blacksmith removes it from the fire. The air crackles with the intense heat. The metal glows, a fiery heart held within the blacksmith's grasp. The first blow of the hammer rings out, a sharp, resonant clang that echoes through the workshop. It is not a violent blow, but a precise application of force that begins to shape the raw material. The rhythm of the hammer falls into a steady cadence, a hypnotic beat that lulls the listener into a state of tranquil contemplation. Hammer blow after hammer blow, the metal takes shape. The blacksmith's movements are fluid, precise, and effortless, a testament to years of practice and a deep understanding of the material. He uses his tools with a skill born of experience, each blow shaping the metal, gradually coaxing it into the desired form. The tongs guide the hot iron, the anvil receives each hammer blow, the rhythmic sounds of creation filling the workshop. Imagine the clang of the hammer on the anvil, the hiss of the cooling metal, the rhythmic rasp of the file as the blacksmith refines his creation. Observe the way the blacksmith manipulates the metal, coaxing it into shape not through brute force, but through controlled, deliberate movements. This is not merely work. It is an act of creation, a dance between the blacksmith and the metal, a dialogue of heat, form, and skill. Feel the rhythm of the forge, the hypnotic pulse of the hammer blows, the steady warmth of the fire, all working in harmony to shape the raw material into something useful, something beautiful, something enduring. The metallic scent hangs heavy in the air, mingling with the aroma of wood smoke and the earthy smell of the forge. As the blacksmith shapes the iron, he is not simply creating a tool, a weapon, or an object. He is creating a piece of history, a testament to the enduring skill and patience of the medieval craftsman. Feel the weight of the finished object in your hands, its smooth surface a result of hours of careful work. Each hammer blow, each careful manipulation has left its mark, shaping the metal, shaping the blacksmith, shaping a piece of history. Drift now into the quiet darkness, sleep. The lingering scent of the forge, heavy with the smell of hot metal and wood smoke, slowly fades as we move from the blacksmith's workshop to a different kind of creation. a grander scale of artistry. Imagine leaving the intimate space of the individual craftsman and stepping into the bustling, sun-drenched courtyard of a great cathedral's construction site. Dust motes dance in the shafts of light that pierce the partially completed stonework. The air is alive with the sounds of human endeavor, the rhythmic clang of hammer on stone, the creak of scaffolding, the shouts of direction, all blending into a strangely soothing symphony. This is the world of the medieval mason, a master craftsman whose skill shaped the very face of Europe. Focus now on a single mason, his hands calloused and strong, his eyes keen and focused. He stands before a rough-hewn block of limestone, its surface still bearing the marks of the quarry. Observe the tools at his disposal, a collection of hammers, each with a different weight and head designed for various tasks. The heavier hammers, with their broad faces, are used for rough shaping, for breaking down the larger blocks into more manageable pieces. Smaller, more delicately balanced hammers, with their finely honed points, are used for intricate detail work, the carving of arches, the sculpting of decorative elements. Feel the weight of these tools in your hands, the cold, smooth stone of the hammerheads against your skin. Notice the subtle variations in the chisels. Some are broad and flat, ideal for removing large amounts of stone. Others are narrow and pointed, perfect for fine carving. Their steel blades, honed to razor sharpness, gleam faintly in the sunlight. Run your fingers along their edges, imagining the feel of the cool, smooth steel against your skin. These are not merely tools. They are extensions of the mason's hands, capable of transforming rough stone into elegant forms. The mason selects a broad chisel, its steel blade reflecting the sunlight. He grips it firmly, his thumb resting along the tang, his fingers curled around the handle. His body is poised, ready to begin his work. He raises the chisel, then brings it down with controlled force, a precise blow that chips away a small piece of stone. The sound is muted, a soft but distinct thwack, followed by the gentler scrape of stone on stone as he carefully works the surface. He repeats this action again and again, each blow carefully placed, each chip carefully removed. He is not simply removing stone, he is sculpting, shaping, transforming a rough mass into something beautiful and enduring. The dust rises from the block in a slow, gentle cloud, catching the light as it floats in the air. It settles softly onto the mason's clothing, onto his tools, onto the half-finished cathedral around him. Breathe deeply, inhaling the earthy scent of the dust, the clean, crisp air of the building site. Observe the mason's movements, fluid, rhythmic, precise. His hands work in perfect harmony with his tools, his eyes constantly assessing the progress, adjusting his technique, ensuring that every blow is perfect. Hours melt away as he works, his focus unwavering. He moves to the next tool, a mallet, smaller than the hammers, its head made of dense, heavy wood, its purpose, precision, and control. The wooden mallet connects with the chisel, adding a softer, more measured rhythm to the sounds of construction. This is a conversation between man and stone, a dialogue expressed in blows and chips, in the slow, careful removal of material, the gradual emergence of form. This is not brute force, it is artistry, expressed in the careful shaping of stone, the precise placement of each blow, the creation of a harmonious whole. The intricate details begin to appear. Delicate carvings emerge from the rough surface of the stone. Imagine the painstaking care taken to form the arches, the delicate tracery, the intricate patterns. These are not mere adornments, but elements of design carefully chosen to balance weight and create visual harmony. The mason's skill is reflected not only in the grand scale of the cathedral, but in the smallest of details, the subtle curves of a molding, the fine lines of a decorative element. Close your eyes and listen to the rhythmic sounds of the construction site. The gentle thwack of the hammer on stone, the scrape of chisel against stone, the creak of scaffolding, the murmur of the other masons working around him, all blending together into a soothing soundscape. Feel the warmth of the sun on your skin, the gentle breeze rustling through the nearby trees. Imagine the mason pausing for a moment, wiping the sweat from his brow, resting his weary hands. The scent of dust and stone fills the air, mingled with the faint perfume of wildflowers growing in the nearby fields. The work continues, slow and deliberate, each stone carefully placed, each joint meticulously fitted. The cathedral slowly takes shape, stone by stone, a testament to the skill, patience, and dedication of the medieval masons. The sun begins to set, casting long shadows across the construction site. The rhythmic sounds of the work begin to fade, replaced by the gentle chirping of crickets and the distant sounds of the city. The mason lays down his tools, his work for the day complete. He looks up at the growing structure, a sense of pride and accomplishment in his heart. The cathedral is not merely a building, but a testament to human ingenuity, to the enduring power of skilled craftsmanship, a symbol of faith and hope, built stone by stone, one meticulously placed hammer blow at a time. Feel the quiet weight of the setting sun, the cool earth under your feet, the slow, steady rhythm of your own breath. Drift now into a peaceful slumber, sleep. The sun dips below the horizon, casting long shadows across the burgeoning cathedral. But the day's work is not yet finished for all. Across the sprawling construction site, nestled within a smaller, less imposing structure, sits the glazier's workshop. Here, amidst the glint of molten glass and the soft whisper of the furnace, a different kind of artistry unfolds. The air is thick with the scent of wood smoke and the sweet, earthy aroma of crushed minerals, the very ingredients that transform humble sand into shimmering, translucent jewels. Within this workshop, the glazier, a man whose hands are as nimble as a spider's, prepares for his craft. He selects a length of glass tubing, its surface smooth and cool under his touch. This is no ordinary glass. It's the product of careful smelting, hours of intense heat coaxing the raw materials into a pliable, molten state. The colors are diverse, the result of adding specific minerals to the sand, painstakingly measured to achieve the precise hue. They're deep blues, reminiscent of a summer sky, vibrant reds that call to mind the setting sun, and soft greens echoing the lush meadows that surround the city. Even a subtle, almost invisible amber, the color of honey shimmering in sunlight. Each color tells a story of the earth, each shade a testament to the glazier's knowledge of alchemical processes, a knowledge passed down through generations. Observe the glazier's tools, simple yet refined. A pair of long, slender tongs, their tips carefully shaped to manipulate the fragile glass. A small anvil, worn smooth with years of use, upon which the glass is shaped and cooled. A collection of iron rods, each of varying thicknesses, for rolling and smoothing the glass. Finally, a small handheld grinding wheel, powered by a slowly turning water wheel, which polishes and refines the edges with an exquisite smoothness. The water wheel turns, its rhythmic drip, 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 a gentle accompaniment to the glazier's work. This gentle sound, the whisper of water against stone, a soothing counterpoint to the crackling of the furnace in the background. He holds the glass tubing carefully, turning it gently with the tongs as he brings it slowly towards the furnace's fiery maw, its heat both intense and vital. The glass softens, becomes pliable, almost liquid, as he expertly gathers a molten globule onto the tip of one rod. Carefully drawing it, extending it ever so slightly, he twists and rotates it with the precision that comes from years of practice. Then comes the crucial moment. He carefully shapes the molten glass, stretching and smoothing it upon the anvil, shaping it to the required size. The process is slow, methodical, deliberate. Every move is measured, each action perfectly timed. The glass itself seems to respond to his touch, yielding to his skilled hands, transforming itself into a panel that is both functional and beautiful. Imagine the colors, how they swirl and blend, how each shade takes on a different luminosity in the firelight. The reds become richer, the blues deeper. The soft greens, almost luminous, seem to glow with an inner light. This is not merely glass, but painted light captured and held in place. Once cooled, the surface is surprisingly smooth, though uneven on the edges, each piece slightly different. The glazing process continues for many hours. Each panel of glass requires immense skill and patience. After shaping, the panels are carefully cooled, laid flat upon sand-covered surfaces to prevent cracking. Once cooled, the glazier takes his grinding wheel, carefully smoothing the edges and shaping the sides, making each piece fit perfectly into its allocated space. The rhythmic squeak of the wheel against the glass is a constant sound in the workshop, a soothing, almost hypnotic rhythm that blends with the crackling of the fire and the whisper of the water wheel. And then the final stage, the assembly. Each meticulously crafted glass panel is carefully placed into the lead framework, creating a mosaic of light. The glazier works with painstaking care, each piece fitting precisely into place, forming a beautiful and intricate pattern. Each lead line, precisely cut and shaped, is gently worked into the glass, securing the panel into the larger window. The result is a dazzling array of colors and light, a tapestry woven from glass and lead, its vibrant hues alive with the reflected sunlight. Think of the rich blues, the fiery reds, the tranquil greens, each one a tiny fragment of the light-filled world beyond. The glazier steps back, examining his work, his face illuminated by the soft glow of the completed window. He touches the glass gently, tracing the patterns with a careful finger. He smiles, feeling the satisfaction of a job well done. His work, a testament to his skills and patience, will bring light and beauty to the cathedral for centuries to come. The rhythmic sounds of his work, now hushed, are replaced with the gentle crackling of the fire as it slowly burns down. It casts a warm, comforting glow within the workshop, the perfect background to a slow, steady breathing. The gentle scent of wood smoke lingers in the air, a comforting aroma, promising peaceful slumber. Breathe deeply, letting the tension drain away with each exhale. Allow the rhythmic sounds of the cooling glass to lull you into a state of peaceful relaxation. Drift now into a deep, restful sleep. The scent of wood smoke, still clinging to the air, gradually fades as the fire in the glazier's workshop dies down. The rhythmic drip of the water wheel, however, continues its gentle song, a lullaby in the quiet of the night. But now, let us leave the cathedral's shimmering windows and journey to the carpenter's workshop, a place of sturdy timber and the rhythmic thud of the axe. Imagine the carpenter's yard, a space filled with the pungent aroma of freshly cut wood. The air is thick with the scent of pine, oak, and perhaps a hint of cedar depending on the season and the availability of timber. Stacks of lumber, neatly arranged, stand tall like silent sentinels, each piece carefully chosen and seasoned for its intended purpose. Sunlight streams through the open doorway, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air, creating a hazy, almost ethereal atmosphere. Observe the carpenter's tools, each one a testament to centuries of refined design. The axe, a sturdy and reliable companion, hangs from a nearby peg, its head gleaming faintly in the light. The smooth, polished handle, worn smooth from years of use, speaks of the carpenter's skill and dedication. Its weight is balanced perfectly, allowing for effortless strokes. Close by, a variety of chisels rest neatly on a small workbench, their blades sharp and keen, ready to carve and shape the wood. Each chisel has its purpose, from the broad, flat chisel used for rough shaping to the delicate gouges for intricate carvings. Feel the cool, smooth steel against your fingertips, imagining the precise movements required to wield these tools effectively. The plane, a marvel of simple mechanics, sits prominently on the workbench. Its smooth wooden body is worn with use, the iron blade gleaming softly. The carpenter runs his hand across its surface, feeling the familiar contours. It is a tool that requires both strength and finesse, its purpose to smooth and level the surface of the wood to create a flawless finish. Listen closely and you can almost hear the soft, rhythmic whisper of the blade against the wood. Now consider the process of transforming a rough-hewn timber into a precisely crafted trellis. The carpenter, a master of his craft, begins with careful selection. He chooses his timber, oak, perhaps, for its strength and durability, examining the grain, searching for knots and imperfections that could compromise the structural integrity of the finished piece. He studies the wood, seeing within it the potential for strength and beauty. Imagine the weight of the timber in his hands, the feel of the rough bark against his calloused skin. The first step is to precisely measure and cut the timber to the required dimensions. This is where the axe and saw come into play, their rhythmic actions a gentle counterpoint to the gentle hum of the surrounding countryside. The sharp bite of the axe, the smooth, controlled stroke of the saw, these are actions honed over years of practice, precise and deliberate movements that speak of a deep understanding of wood and its property. Then comes the shaping. The carpenter uses his chisels to carefully carve and smooth the edges of the timber, removing excess wood with precision and care. The delicate dance between the chisel and the wood is a ballet of controlled strength, each movement slow and deliberate. Observe the shavings curling from the wood, light and ephemeral, like tiny, silent witnesses to the transformation taking place. The next stage involves assembling the trellis. The carpenter uses strong wooden pegs to join the pieces of timber, creating a sturdy and reliable structure. Each peg is carefully whittled and fitted into its appointed place, ensuring a firm and lasting connection. The rhythmic tapping of the mallet against the wood, a gentle, repetitive sound fills the air. The finished trellis is a testament to the carpenter's skill and patience, a harmonious blend of form and function. It is both strong and elegant, a testament to the power of human ingenuity and the beauty of simple, well-crafted objects. Imagine the vines crawling across the trellis, their delicate tendrils weaving through the wood, creating a living tapestry of green and blossom. The trellis will provide support and structure for years to come, a silent guardian of the garden, standing as a monument to the forgotten craft of woodworking. The carpenter steps back, his hands calloused, his body tired, but his heart filled with satisfaction. He gazes at his creation, the setting sun casting long shadows across the workshop. The air is filled with the scent of sawdust and fresh wood, a comforting aroma that speaks of work done well. The rhythmic sounds of the workshop have quieted. Only the gentle chirping of crickets remains, a gentle lullaby from the world outside. Breathe deeply and allow the gentle rhythm of the carpenter's craft to soothe your mind and ease you into a peaceful slumber. Sleep? The cricket's chirping fades, replaced by the softer sounds of the spinning wheel. A gentle hum, almost imperceptible at first, builds slowly, a constant companion to the rhythmic click-clack of the shuttle. We leave the carpenter's workshop, the lingering scent of sawdust now replaced by the subtle, earthy aroma of flax. We enter a different world, a world of threads and looms, where the quiet precision of the weaver's craft unfolds. This is the linen weaver's domain. Sunlight, filtered through a high window, illuminates the room, catching the dust motes dancing in the air, much like in the carpenter's workshop, but here the air is thinner, cleaner. The light seems to hold more stillness. The room itself is spacious, yet intimate, filled with the quiet energy of creation. The loom, a majestic structure of wood and rope, dominates the space. Its sturdy frame, crafted from seasoned oak, stands tall, a testament to the weaver's dedication and skill. Notice the intricate details, the smooth polished wood, the carefully crafted tension bars, the perfectly aligned heddles. These are tools crafted with the same care and precision as the carpenter's chisels, each part playing a vital role in the transformation of raw fibers into beautiful textiles. Feel the cool, smooth wood of the loom's beam beneath your fingertips. Imagine the weaver's hands, calloused but nimble, moving with a practiced grace. Their touch is gentle yet firm, a testament to years of experience. Observe the warp threads, taut and even, stretching across the loom like a fine-spun bridge between worlds. These threads, meticulously prepared from carefully selected flax, are the foundation upon which the weaver will build their masterpiece. The weaver's shuttle, a simple yet elegant tool, is held delicately in one hand. It is a smooth, oblong piece of wood, carefully shaped and polished, its surface worn smooth from countless passes through the warp threads. Feel the weight of the shuttle in your hand, its comfortable shape fitting perfectly within your palm. Imagine the weaver's fingers, deftly guiding the shuttle back and forth across the loom, each movement precise and deliberate. The rhythm is hypnotic, a gentle back and forth, a dance between the shuttle and the threads. The weft threads wound onto the shuttle's bobbin are carefully interwoven with the warp, creating a dense and even fabric. Each pass of the shuttle adds another layer of complexity, another layer of beauty to the growing cloth. The sound of the shuttle clicking against the reed, a gentle, repetitive rhythm, is a soothing lullaby, a constant reassurance of order and precision. Close your eyes and listen to the soft whisper of the threads as they intertwine, a gentle song of creation. But the weaver's work goes beyond linen. Consider the tapestry, a magnificent example of weaving artistry. Yet many more textile crafts existed. The intricate embroidery, the delicate lace-making, the vibrant wool cloths of the northern regions, the silks and velvets that adorn the courts of the south. Each technique, a testament to the ingenuity and skill of generations of artisans. Imagine the vibrant colors of a wool tapestry emerging from the loom, the interplay of deep reds, rich blues, and earthy browns. The patterns, intricate and complex, each stitch telling a story, a subtle narrative woven into the very fabric of the piece. The threads, thick and soft, each one carefully chosen, their colors representing not just aesthetics, but symbolic meaning. Feel the softness of the wool against your skin, its warmth radiating outwards. A comfort that has endured for centuries. Think of the fine linen garments, their coolness, a welcome relief in the summer heat. The texture is smooth, almost ethereal. The quality of the fibers so fine you can barely feel their individual threads against the skin. Imagine the garments being adorned with intricate embroidery, tiny stitches adding layers of embellishment, each tiny detail a testament to the dedication of the artisan. Then picture the delicate lace, its intricate patterns a testament to human ingenuity. The threads, so fine, almost invisible to the naked eye, are woven together in a complex dance of precision. The delicate patterns, inspired by nature, their forms echoing the organic elegance of leaves and flowers. Feel the coolness of the lace against your skin, its exquisite delicacy, a testament to the patience and skill of the artist. Now the sun begins to dip below the horizon, casting long shadows across the loom. The weaver's work for the day is done. The rhythmic click-clack of the shuttle has ceased. The only sound is the gentle sigh of the breeze whispering through the open window. The air is filled with the soft aroma of flax and wool, a comforting scent that speaks of work done well. Let the quiet rhythm of the weaver's craft lull you into a peaceful slumber. Breathe deeply. Feel the stillness settle over you. Sleep. The lingering scent of flax and wool, a gentle reminder of the weaver's artistry, now gives way to a different fragrance, the subtle tang of heated metal, a whisper of charcoal smoke, and the faint sweetness of beeswax. We leave the quiet hum of the loom and step into a workshop bathed in the warm glow of a single oil lamp. Here, amidst the clutter of tools and half-finished pieces, a different kind of artistry unfolds. This is the world of the metalsmith, a realm of hammered silver, chased gold, and intricately reposé bronze. Forget the roaring forge, the intense heat, the showers of sparks. While the blacksmith's craft is one of brute strength and controlled fire, the art of repoussé and chasing requires a different kind of skill, a delicate touch, a patient hand, and an unwavering eye for detail. Imagine the metalsmith's workbench, a sturdy oak surface, worn smooth by years of diligent work. Feel the cool, hard wood beneath your fingers. Notice the scattered tools laid out with a practiced precision. There's the hammer, not the blacksmith's heavy sledge, but a smaller, lighter version, perhaps a selection of different sizes, each perfectly balanced in the hand. Observe the variety. Punches and chasing tools, their steel points meticulously sharpened and polished, each designed for a specific task, each capable of creating a unique texture or pattern. Feel the weight of one in your hand, its cool, smooth steel, the subtle give of the perfectly crafted handle. Consider the different types of metal available to the metalsmith. The gleaming silver, its surface reflecting the lamplight with a soft, ethereal luminescence. The rich, deep gold, its color hinting at untold wealth and power. The sturdy bronze, its warm tones radiating a sense of permanence and strength. The process begins not with fire, but with careful preparation. A sheet of metal, perhaps silver, painstakingly hammered thin, is placed upon a bed of pitch. This dark, sticky substance, derived from pine resin, provides a secure and yielding surface that allows the metal to be shaped from the back. Picture the metalsmith's fingers, strong and yet nimble, their movements deliberate and controlled. They use a variety of tools, the hammer, various punches, carefully shaped styluses, to coax the metal into a three-dimensional form. The process is slow, methodical. Each blow of the hammer, each press of the punch, is carefully considered, a thoughtful addition to the evolving design. This is repoussé, the art of raising a design from the back of the metal. Feel the gentle pressure of the hammer against your palm. Imagine the rhythmic tapping against the metal, a quiet percussion echoing the heartbeat of the craftsman. It's a conversation between the tool and the material, a dialogue that takes shape over time. The metal yields, it resists, it bends, it forms. A flower unfurls, a bird takes flight, a dragon emerges from its slumber. All from this careful manipulation of the metal from behind, the metal's texture forming and changing, slowly revealing its final form. Once the repoussé is complete, the process moves to the front. Here the metalsmith uses chasing tools, small, finely crafted punches and styluses, to refine the details, to add texture, to bring the design to life. These tools are smaller, more precise. They work on the surface, smoothing out imperfections, adding subtle variations of light and shadow, sharpening lines, refining contours. Imagine the feel of these tools against the metal's cool surface. The artist's skill lies in the control of pressure, the understanding of the metal's behavior, the ability to craft every nuance. Feel the light touch of the stylus, creating subtle textures, the precision of the smaller punches, bringing intricate details into sharp focus. The metallic surface takes on a depth, a richness, that belies the seemingly simple act of tapping and pushing. The lamplight glints off the finished piece, a delicate silver brooch, perhaps, or a beautifully chased gold chalice. Feel the smooth, cool metal against your skin. The intricate details, the subtle variations in texture, all speak of a skill honed over years, decades even. This is not just metalwork. It's art, a testament to the craftsman's skill, patience, and unwavering dedication. The quiet clinking of tools, the rhythmic tap, tap, tap of the hammer, a soothing cadence echoing the slow, deliberate pace of the artisan's work, all combine to create a sense of peaceful calm. Let the quiet artistry of the metalsmith lull you into a deep, restful sleep. Breathe deeply. Let the gentle sounds and the cool metallic presence lull you into peaceful slumber, sleep. The quiet clinking of tools, the rhythmic tap, tap, tap of the hammer fades, replaced by a different rhythm, a different texture. We leave the cool smoothness of metal behind and enter the world of stone and wood. The air here is different, carrying the scent of dust and damp earth, the faint tang of freshly cut timber. The sculptor's workbench is much larger, a heavy, rough-hewn table of oak, its surface scarred with the marks of countless chisels, gouges, and mallets. Imagine the feel of this ancient wood beneath your fingertips, the rough texture beneath the years of accumulated dust. Forget the intense heat of the forge. Here, the primary element is patience. The sculptor works not with fire, but with careful, measured blows. Observe the tools laid out before you, a collection of chisels, each with a different shape and size, each designed for a specific purpose. Feel the weight of one in your hand, its cool, smooth steel, the slightly roughened handle, worn smooth by years of use. Note the variety, the sharp, pointed chisel for fine detail work, the broader, flatter chisel for shaping larger surfaces, the curved gouge for hollowing out sections. Each tool has its own character, its own feel. The sculptor's material, too, is varied. Perhaps it is a block of limestone, pale and yielding, its surface waiting to be transformed. Run your fingers over its cool, slightly rough texture, feeling the subtle variations in the stone's surface. Or perhaps it is a piece of oak, its grain strong and resistant, its color ranging from pale gold to deep honey brown. Inhale deeply, noticing the rich, woody aroma emanating from the timber. The sculptor's task is to coax form from this raw material, to transform inert matter into a thing of beauty, a figure of grace, a testament to faith and devotion. The process begins with careful planning. The sculptor may have a detailed drawing, a blueprint, a vision held firm in their mind. But the interaction with the material is key, a conversation between the artist and the stone, a slow dance between hand and tool. The sculptor may start by roughly shaping the block, removing large amounts of material with a mallet and a heavy chisel. Imagine the sound, a deep resonant thud as the chisel strikes the stone, the heavy blow sending vibrations through your body. It's a powerful sound, yet measured, controlled. Each blow is deliberate, removing just enough material to achieve the desired shape. The sound is slow, the dust is subtle. Observe it gently settling upon the work surface. As the form begins to emerge, the sculptor shifts to finer tools. The heavy chisel is replaced by lighter, more delicate versions. The mallet is set aside, and the sculptor may now use only the chisel in their own hands. The work becomes slower, more intricate. Each blow is smaller, more precise. The sculptor's movements are deliberate, measured, almost hypnotic. Imagine the chisel's edge gliding over the stone's surface, removing tiny slivers of material with each precise stroke. The sounds are softer now, a gentle rasping, a quiet whisper. Feel the steady rhythm of the work, the measured pace of creation. The form emerges slowly, patiently, as if from a dream. Working with wood requires a different approach. While stone can withstand heavy blows, wood demands a gentler touch. The sculptor uses smaller chisels, sharper gouges, and a lighter hand. The process is much the same: careful planning, rough shaping, refining of detail. But the feel is distinctly different. The smooth glide of the chisel through the soft wood, the satisfying resistance of the grain. Smell the wood shavings curling away from the tool, their delicate scent a reminder of nature's contribution to the artisan's work. The texture of the wood is more yielding than the stone, but it still requires patience, skill, and respect. The process unfolds slowly, methodically, over days, weeks, months even. There is no rush, no pressure, only the steady, rhythmic movement of the sculptor's hands, the gentle whisper of the chisel against the stone or wood. This is not just craftsmanship, it is meditation, a slow unfolding of form and intention. The sculptor, lost in their work, is in communion with the material, with the history, with the very essence of their craft. And as they work, so too do you drift off, lulled by the gentle rhythm of their labor, the soft sounds, and the calming scents. Breathe deeply and let the quiet artistry of the sculptor's chisel transport you to a place of serene and peaceful slumber. Sleep. Now let us leave the sculptor's workshop, the lingering scent of wood and stone, and turn our attention to a different kind of artistry, one that shimmers with a different light altogether, the craft of the goldsmith. Imagine a small, dimly lit workshop, perhaps tucked away in a quiet corner of a bustling medieval city. The air is thick with the scent of beeswax and polishing compounds, a subtle sweetness mingling with the faint metallic tang of precious metals. Here, the craftsman's tools are not chisels and mallets, but delicate gravers, tiny hammers, and burnishing tools, instruments of precision, capable of shaping the most unforgiving of materials into objects of breathtaking beauty. The goldsmith's work begins not with a rough block of stone or wood, but with the raw material itself, gold, silver, or perhaps even more precious metals like platinum, though these were less common in the medieval period. Picture a small ingot of gold, its surface gleaming faintly in the soft light filtering through the workshop window. Its weight is substantial, the cool metal feeling smooth and dense in the hand. Notice the subtle variations in its color, the way the light catches its surface, revealing hints of orange and yellow. Feel its cool, almost imperceptible warmth. This is not merely metal, it is a treasure, something that has been painstakingly extracted from the earth, a material that has captivated and fascinated people for millennia. The process begins with refinement. The goldsmith may begin by melting the raw material down, using a small charcoal forge and carefully calibrated bellows. This is not the roaring inferno of the blacksmith's forge. It is a more controlled, gentler fire, maintained at a precise temperature to prevent damage to the metal. Imagine the soft crackle of the fire, the warm glow illuminating the craftsman's face, the rhythmic hiss of the bellows. The molten metal, glowing a fiery yellow-orange, is carefully poured into molds, taking on new forms, slowly solidifying, cooling and hardening, its brilliance subdued but not diminished. The quiet intensity of this process is palpable. It demands both skill and patience. One must be highly attuned to the changing color, texture, and temperature of the metal, making adjustments as required. The smell of the burning charcoal is subtle, clean, even slightly pleasant. Once the metal has cooled, the true artistry begins. The goldsmith employs a variety of techniques to shape and embellish their creations. Hammering is a key skill, requiring a steady hand and keen eye for detail. The rhythmic clang of the hammer against the anvil is a constant companion in the workshop, a steady counterpoint to the hushed concentration of the artisan. Feel the weight of the hammer, the controlled impact as it shapes the metal, the soft reverberations that travel through the floorboards and into your body. The sounds are calming, comforting, even hypnotic. The goldsmith, working with focused precision, may use various punches and stamps to create patterns and textures. The process of shaping is often followed by intricate embellishments. Filigree, a delicate form of metalwork, involves the creation of intricate patterns using thin wires of gold or silver. Imagine the craftsman holding a tiny piece of wire, his deft fingers meticulously twisting and shaping it, forming delicate curlicues and spirals, bringing tiny motifs to life. The goldsmith also employs granulation, a technique that involves the application of tiny balls of gold or silver to the surface of the object, creating a glittering, textured effect. These are tiny works of art in themselves, each small bead a testament to the artisan's patience and skill. And finally, there's the polishing. This is the phase that brings out the full brilliance of the metal. Various tools, brushes, cloths, and polishing compounds are used to create a mirror-like sheen. Imagine the soft, rhythmic movement of the cloth against the metal, the gentle pressure removing any remaining imperfections. The polishing process produces a smooth, even surface, bringing out the deep luster of the metal. The reflected light is stunning, reflecting the soft glow of the workshop lamps. The goldsmith's work, like that of the sculptor, unfolds slowly, methodically. Each step is deliberate, each movement precise, requiring a profound understanding of the material and its properties. It is a meditative process, demanding both precision and patience. Listen closely and you will hear the soft rhythm of the hammer, the gentle scrape of the polishing cloth, the subtle whisper of the tools as they work their magic on the precious metal. Feel the coolness of the metal, its weight in your hand, its intrinsic beauty. Inhale slowly, breathing in the subtle sense of the workshop, allowing yourself to drift off into a state of restful tranquility. Sleep. The rhythmic clang of the goldsmith's hammer fades, replaced by a different kind of precision, a different kind of rhythm. We move now from the shimmering, malleable world of precious metals to the intricate gears and delicate mechanisms of the medieval clockmaker's workshop. Here, the focus is not on the warmth and yielding softness of gold, but on the cold, hard precision of brass, iron, and steel. Imagine a space, smaller and more confined than the goldsmith's, perhaps a single room tucked away within a larger building, filled with the scent of oiled wood and polished metal. The air is quiet, broken only by the soft ticking of clocks in various stages of completion, a gentle, steady percussion that lulls the mind into a state of calm. The clockmaker's tools are as refined as the goldsmith's, but their purpose is fundamentally different. Instead of shaping pliable metal, they are designed to measure and manipulate the relentless march of time. Imagine tiny files, their teeth barely visible to the naked eye, used to smooth the edges of intricately cut gears. Picture slender chisels crafted with painstaking care, used to create precise grooves and channels in brass plates. Feel the weight of the clockmaker's hammer, smaller and lighter than the blacksmith's, its impact more nuanced, more delicate. its blows shaping the components of time itself. Unlike the flowing movements of the goldsmith, the clockmaker's work is characterized by precise angles and perfectly calibrated measurements. Every gear, every wheel, every pivot must be flawlessly executed, for the slightest imperfection can disrupt the harmonious flow of the mechanism. The clockmaker's bench is cluttered but orderly, a carefully arranged collection of parts awaiting assembly. Meticulously crafted gears of varying sizes, intricately designed escapements, and delicate pendulums, each a testament to the artisan's skill and patience. Consider the evolution of these time-measuring devices. Early medieval timekeeping relied on simpler methods, sundials, hourglasses, and rudimentary water clocks. But as society became more complex, the need for more accurate and reliable timekeeping became increasingly apparent. The development of the mechanical clock, a monumental achievement in medieval engineering, marked a significant step forward. This intricate device, a marvel of ingenuity, was far from a simple contraction. It was a sophisticated mechanism composed of numerous precisely crafted components, working together in perfect harmony. Imagine the earliest mechanical clocks, their movements crude and often unreliable by modern standards. They were large and imposing structures, often housed in towers or public buildings, their gears and weights a visible testament to their complex inner workings. Picture the heavy, rhythmic swing of the foliote, a precursor to the pendulum, regulating the clock's tempo with a steady, measured beat. The sound, though perhaps less refined than later clocks, was equally hypnotic, a constant reminder of time's unstoppable progression. Feel the weight of the foliote, its steady back-and-forth motion, its influence on the entire mechanism. Slowly over centuries, the design of these machines evolved. The introduction of the verge escapement, a significant improvement over earlier mechanisms, provided greater accuracy and stability. The invention of the pendulum, a profound innovation in the 17th century, though beyond the medieval period, revolutionized timekeeping. But even before the pendulum, the clockmakers of the Middle Ages were steadily refining their craft, using increasingly sophisticated techniques to improve the accuracy and reliability of their creations. Observe the gradual reduction in the size of the clocks, their mechanisms becoming more refined and intricate. The creation of a single gear, for example, involved a series of painstaking steps. The clockmaker would first forge the blank, carefully shaping the metal to the desired size and form. Then, using files and rasps, they would carefully refine the shape, ensuring precision and accuracy. Next, they would cut the teeth of the gear, a delicate process that required a steady hand and keen eye for detail. Imagine the rhythmic scratching of the file, the careful strokes, each one contributing to the perfect shape of the gear. The process is slow, demanding patience and focus, requiring total immersion in the task at hand. The precise spacing of each tooth is crucial, its imperfection potentially disrupting the entire mechanism. Then comes the polishing, a process as important as any other step. The surface of the gear needs to be smooth and free of any burrs or imperfections to ensure that the gear can rotate freely and smoothly. Each component, from the smallest screw to the largest wheel, was created with meticulous attention to detail. The clockmaker's work was not just a craft, it was an art form, a testament to human ingenuity and precision. Imagine the assembling of the components, the careful alignment of each gear and wheel, the precise adjustment of the escapement, the final testing of the mechanism. Feel the satisfaction of the clockmaker as the finished clock begins to tick, its rhythmic beat a testament to their skill and dedication. Listen to the gentle, steady ticking, a sound that is both reassuring and hypnotic. The clock is not merely a machine, it is a miniature world, perfectly balanced, seamlessly functioning. Breathe deeply, letting the rhythmic ticking lull you into a state of peaceful relaxation, sleep. The rhythmic ticking of the clock, a hypnotic lullaby of perfectly calibrated gears, fades into the quiet hum of the scriptorium. Here, in this hushed sanctuary of illuminated manuscripts, the air hangs heavy with the scent of parchment and dried herbs, a subtle perfume interwoven with the faint, earthy aroma of freshly ground pigments. We move from the precise mechanics of the clockmaker's bench to the equally meticulous world of the medieval scribe, specifically to the secrets held within their ink pots. Forget for a moment the vibrant hues of the finished illuminations. Let us delve into the very essence of their creation, the inks themselves, the heartblood of the written word. Imagine a small, dimly lit room, perhaps tucked away within a monastery or cathedral. A single shaft of sunlight pierces the gloom, illuminating motes of dust dancing in the air, settling gently on the worn wooden table. On this table sits the scribe's essential toolkit, a collection of quills, carefully sharpened to varying degrees of fineness, small, meticulously cleaned containers holding various inks, and a selection of carefully prepared pigments, each a treasure of its own. These pigments, the base of the ink, were painstakingly sourced, their origins stretching across the known world. Consider the rich, deep black ink, the workhorse of the scriptorium. This wasn't simply a commercial product, but a carefully crafted concoction. Often it was made from gallnuts, the spherical growths found on oak trees. Picture the process, the slow, deliberate grinding of these gallnuts, their texture initially hard and resistant, slowly yielding to the pressure of the mortar and pestle. Feel the weight of the pestle in your hand, the rhythmic grinding transforming the hard gallnuts into a fine, almost powdery substance. To this were added other ingredients, sometimes gum arabic to provide binding, sometimes iron sulfate to deepen the color and aid its permanence. Imagine the careful measuring, the precise blending, the gentle stirring, until a perfectly consistent mixture is achieved. The resulting ink, jet black and intensely saturated, would be left to age, further enhancing its rich tone and ensuring its lasting qualities. But the scriptoria weren't limited to black ink. Let us explore the vibrant reds, often derived from kermes, a tiny insect found on certain oak trees. Imagine harvesting these tiny insects, collecting them carefully from the leaves, the delicate process of gathering a source of such intense crimson color. Again, grinding and meticulous preparation were key, resulting in an ink that possessed both luminance and a certain subtle depth. Picture the crimson ink flowing from the quill, tracing elegant flourishes and delicate details onto the pristine vellum, a color rich with the life force of the sun. Then there were the blues, often made from woad, a plant whose cultivation and preparation were carefully guarded secrets. Think of the vibrant azure hues of these medieval blues, a color both mysterious and ethereal. The preparation of woad ink was a lengthy process, involving fermentation and other chemical alterations, transforming the raw plant material into a rich, deep blue pigment. Feel the cool, smooth texture of the woad paste as it's carefully combined with the binding agents. The slow, deliberate process of creating an ink whose very hue evoked the boundless sky. And the greens? These were often achieved through a complex mixture of both plant and mineral pigments, achieving varying shades from the bright, almost luminous emerald to the deep, somber hues of the forest. Picture the careful mixing of yellow from saffron or orpiment and blue from woad or azurite, a precise combination that required skill and experience. The careful layering of these colors, creating nuanced shades, reflects the dedication and precision of these medieval artists. These inks weren't simply for illuminating manuscripts. They were also used for writing on parchment, for official documents, for personal letters, for records. Consider the weight of the quill in the hand, the deliberate rhythm of the stroke as the ink flows onto the page, the careful construction of each letter, each word, each phrase. Imagine the scribe meticulously crafting their script, the slow, controlled movements of their hand, a dance of precision and skill. Their work wasn't just about transferring information. It was about creating beauty, permanence, a testament to the power of words and the skill of their creation. The scent of the inks, the textures of their components, the painstaking preparations, these are elements often overlooked when we admire the beauty of a medieval illuminated manuscript. Yet it is within these forgotten processes, these seemingly minor details, that the true artistry of the medieval scribe reveals itself. Feel the weight of history, the whisper of generations of artisans, as the aroma of these ancient inks slowly fades into the calm stillness of the night. Sleep. And as the scent of those ancient inks fades, let us turn our attention to another vital craft of the medieval world, dyeing. The vibrant colors adorning tapestries, clothing, and even the humble everyday fabrics of the period were not simply the result of chance or readily available pigments. They were the product of a deep understanding of natural dyes, a knowledge painstakingly accumulated and passed down through generations of dyers. Their skill, like that of the scribes, represented a subtle artistry, a mastery of processes that relied on close observation of nature and a precise understanding of chemical reactions, often refined by secrets passed down through family lines, guild knowledge, and regional experimentation. Imagine, if you will, a dyer's workshop, nestled beside a rushing stream. The air is thick with the scent of damp earth, the faint sweetness of blossoming plants, and the pungent aroma of various barks and roots steeped in large copper vats. These vats, gleaming dully in the dappled sunlight, are the heart of the operation. Each holds a different concoction, a carefully balanced recipe honed over centuries. Feel the warmth radiating from their sides as the water within slowly simmers, releasing the color from its botanical prison. Consider the madder root, for example, a source of rich, deep reds that were highly prized across Europe. Picture the painstaking process of harvesting these roots, carefully digging them from the earth, their earthy scent clinging to the hands of the workers. Then comes the laborious task of cleaning, preparing, and grinding them, the coarse texture transforming into a fine powder, ready to release its crimson secrets into the simmering water. The specific methods varied regionally. In some areas, the matter was fermented, while in others it was directly boiled. The time spent in the dye bath, the precise temperature maintained, all these factors contributed to the final hue, ranging from the deepest crimson to a lighter rose, each shade imbued with the nuances of local practices. Now let's travel further east, to the regions where woad, that same plant used by scribes to create their vibrant blues, was also a staple of the dyer's trade. The cultivation of woad was a specialized art. It involved meticulous planting, tending, and harvesting, resulting in a plant that was then meticulously processed. The resulting paste, a deep indigo blue, was incredibly versatile. However, the techniques employed for achieving specific shades of blue, from the deep, almost black tones to the lighter, airy sky blues, varied significantly from village to village, even from family to family. The methods involved lengthy periods of fermentation, often in carefully controlled environments, to create the intense, lasting colors characteristic of medieval European blues. Moving westward, we find ourselves in the lands where the humble weld plant played a significant role. This plant offered a range of yellows depending on the mordant used, a substance that fixes the dye to the fabric. Weld, with its characteristic light green leaves, provided a spectrum of yellows. From pale straw to rich golden hues, the dyer's knowledge extended to understanding the subtle effects of different mordants, the use of alum for brighter yellows, or the addition of other plant materials such as oak bark to create subtly different tones. Consider the delicate balance between the plant's inherent color, the chosen mordant, and the duration of the dyeing process. The resulting colors possessed a depth and complexity reflective of this mastery. Then there are the vibrant greens, often achieved through the combined use of weld for yellow and woad for blue. Imagine the dyers carefully preparing the two dye baths, and then, with painstaking precision, dipping the fabric first in one, then the other, layering the colors in a controlled fashion, slowly building up the desired shade. The exact technique for achieving balance and depth is lost to us, except in scattered records and surviving fabrics. The result, however, speaks of a subtle mastery over color and process, leading to colors both vivid and complex. And the blacks? Not merely the absence of color, but a deep, almost velvety hue, obtained through a combination of various plant-based dyes and metallic salts. The exact recipes remain partially obscured by the mists of time, regional variations leading to diverse shades. Sometimes walnut husks provided a base color, while other plants and iron salts were added to intensify and deepen the tone. The process involved multiple steps, repeated dipping in different solutions, allowing for the creation of a rich and durable color. The art of medieval dyeing was a sophisticated craft, employing skills and knowledge accumulated across generations. The diversity of colors, the subtleties of tone, and the permanence of the dyes all point to a highly developed understanding of chemistry and the botanical world. These dyers were not simply artisans, but alchemists of color, transforming humble plants and minerals into vibrant hues that continue to fascinate and inspire us today. The whisper of their ancient craft resonates in the colors we admire in the surviving textiles of medieval Europe, a testament to their skill and dedication. Let the gentle rhythm of the dyeing process lull you into a peaceful slumber. Sleep. The whispers of these dye masters, their knowledge passed down through generations, weren't merely spoken words but manifested in the very structure of their communities. Guilds, those powerful organizations of medieval Europe, held the keys to the preservation of these crafts. Imagine the hushed reverence of a guild meeting, the air thick with the scent of dye, and the soft murmur of experienced hands guiding novices. These weren't merely social clubs, they were educational institutions, rigorous apprenticeships shaping young lives. Picture a young boy, perhaps no older than 10, his eyes wide with fascination, observing the master dyer at work. The rhythmic dipping of cloth, the careful stirring of the dye vats, the meticulous attention to detail all imprinted onto his young mind. The boy and apprentice would begin with the humblest of tasks, cleaning the tools, preparing the plant materials, fetching water from the well. His hands, initially clumsy and unsure, would slowly gain dexterity, guided by the watchful eye of his master. Years would pass, a slow and deliberate process of learning, mirroring the patient unfolding of the dyeing process itself. He would learn to identify the subtle variations in plant material, to understand the nuances of color, to feel the texture of the fabric beneath his fingertips. The master dyer wasn't merely teaching a skill, he was imparting a legacy, a tradition, passed down through centuries, a living history woven into the very fabric of his craft. He would share his secrets, not in a rush of words, but through the silent language of action, the unspoken understanding that comes from years spent side by side, immersed in the shared rhythm of the work. The apprentice would learn the exact proportions of each ingredient, the precise timing of each step, the subtle adjustments necessary to achieve the desired hue. He would learn to read the light, to judge the ripeness of the plant materials, to anticipate the changes in color as the dye took hold. He would absorb the knowledge not only through his senses, but through his very being, becoming an extension of the centuries-old tradition. The guild system wasn't simply about the transfer of skills. It was a social contract, a guarantee of quality and fair practice. The guilds maintained strict standards, ensuring that only those who had demonstrated mastery of the craft were allowed to practice independently. Imagine the rigorous examinations, the meticulous scrutiny of the apprentice's work, the intense pressure to meet the high standards set by the guildmasters. This rigorous process ensured that the quality of the craft remained consistent, upholding the reputation of the guild and protecting the consumers. The apprenticeship was not solely about technical skill. It instilled a strong sense of community and shared identity. The apprentice became part of a brotherhood, bound together by their shared passion for their craft. The elder dyers shared their knowledge, their experiences, and their wisdom, passing on not only the techniques of the trade, but also the ethical standards and the deep-seated respect for their craft. They fostered a sense of belonging, a feeling of connection to a tradition that stretched back through the generations. Picture the apprentice sharing his meals with his fellow apprentices, exchanging stories and experiences. The closeness forged in this environment helped create a deep sense of solidarity and mutual respect. The guild halls were not just workshops, they were centers of learning and social interaction. They provided a platform for the exchange of knowledge and ideas, ensuring that innovation and creativity could flourish within the confines of the traditional craft. Within these walls, apprenticeships were not just about mastering a trade, they were about becoming fully fledged members of a close-knit community. They were the guardians of a tradition, the custodians of a heritage, the keepers of the flame. The guild system, with its strict standards and rigorous apprenticeships, ensured that the ancient crafts were not only preserved but also enhanced, ensuring that the unique skills and knowledge of medieval dyers wouldn't be lost to the ages. The colors they created, the rich tapestry of their shared knowledge, are a testament to their perseverance, a vibrant legacy preserved through generations of dedicated artisans. Let the image of these guilds, of these master dyers, patiently guiding their apprentices, lull you into a deep and restful sleep. The echoes of these guilds, these vibrant centers of craft and community, still resonate through the ages. Imagine walking through a medieval town, the cobblestones worn smooth by centuries of footsteps, the air alive with the faint scent of wood smoke and leather. You pass a tanner's workshop, the rhythmic thud of mallets, a muted percussion against the quiet hum of the town. The rich, earthy smell of tanned hides hangs heavy in the air, a testament to the patient labor involved. The tanner himself, weathered and worn, his hands gnarled and strong, moves with a practiced ease, each gesture honed by years of experience. He works not in isolation, but as part of a larger network, a community of artisans bound together by their shared skills and dedication. Further down the lane, you pass a blacksmith's forge, the fiery heart of the workshop glowing warmly in the twilight. The rhythmic clang of hammer on steel, the hiss of water quenching the glowing metal, creates a hypnotic rhythm that soothes the soul. The blacksmith, his face illuminated by the furnace's glow, works with intense focus, his movements precise and deliberate. He shapes the raw material, coaxing it into the forms required, his skill born of generations of inherited knowledge. His tools, simple yet effective, bear the marks of countless uses, each scratch and dent a testament to their long and faithful service. These were not merely crafts. They were integral to the very fabric of medieval life. The potter, shaping clay into vessels of everyday use. The weaver, creating intricate tapestries that adorned castles and churches. The carpenter, constructing the very houses and buildings that formed the towns and cities themselves. Each played a crucial role in shaping the world around them. Their hands, calloused and strong, were the instruments of creation, bringing form and function to raw materials, transforming the ordinary into the extraordinary. Consider the subtle details, the gleam of polished wood, the delicate tracery of a carved panel, the smooth texture of a finely woven cloth. These weren't merely functional objects. They were imbued with a sense of artistry, reflecting the skill and devotion of their creators. The objects they produce tell a story, a silent narrative that speaks volumes about the ingenuity and creativity of the medieval artisans. They speak of dedication, patience, and unwavering commitment to their craft. These artisans didn't just produce goods, they shaped culture. Their work wasn't solely driven by practical considerations. It was a form of self-expression, a way of leaving a mark on the world, a testament to their skill and creativity. The artistry inherent in their work elevated it beyond mere utility, transforming everyday objects into works of art. The aesthetic sensibilities of these artisans were reflected in their creations, subtly enriching the lives of those who used and appreciated them. They were more than craftspeople, they were artists, working with their hands and hearts. The legacy of these forgotten crafts isn't confined to the objects they produced. It's also embodied in the skills, techniques, and knowledge they passed on through generations of apprentices. The careful instruction, the painstaking demonstrations, the shared experiences, all contributed to the preservation of these valuable traditions. Imagine the hushed reverence of a master craftsman, patiently guiding a young apprentice, sharing the secrets of their trade. The transfer of knowledge was not simply a matter of technical instruction, it was a spiritual act, a passing of the torch. The rhythms of these crafts, the steady beat of the weaver's shuttle, the measured strokes of the painter's brush, the rhythmic clang of the blacksmith's hammer, provided a calming, meditative quality to the work. It was a process of slow, deliberate creation, requiring focus, patience, and a deep connection to the materials being worked. This slow, mindful work was itself a form of meditation, a calming influence in a world often characterized by chaos and uncertainty. And so, as we draw to the close of this exploration, let the image of these artisans, their skill, and their unwavering dedication to their craft wash over you, calming your mind and preparing you for sleep. Let the echoes of their hammers, the whispers of their tools, the gentle hum of their workshops lull you into a deep and restful slumber. Let the memory of their artistry settle upon you, a gentle blanket of peace and tranquility. Feel the warmth of the forge, the coolness of the dye vat, the smooth texture of the finished product, all merging together to create a soothing symphony of sensory experience. Breathe deeply, relax completely. Sleep